my name is Rachel for Wake Up Thankful, and today I'd like to talk to you about pranayama and the benefits of pranayama. Now, if you haven't heard of pranayama, it is a very ancient technique and practice of regulating the breath through particular exercises in order to exert calming sensations and also other various benefits for the participant. Now, if you break down pranayama from the Sanskrit word, Sanskrit being the ancient Hindu text, prana actually translates to a vital life force or vital energy, which is found in anything, in the plants, in us, even in rocks. And so prana being that vital life energy, that vital life force, and ayama, pranayama. Ayama is a lengthening and expanding. So when you put that together, pranayama is actually the lengthening or expanding of life force, which is beautiful, and who would not want to expand or lengthen their life force and energy. And so pranayama, I find it very interesting actually, because when you look at evolution and you look at species which have very high, long breath holds, they've actually lived the longest number of years. Let's think of the sperm whale. The sperm whale can hold its breath for 90 minutes, up to 90 minutes, and it's been around 20 million years. And also the turtle can hold its breath for 4 to 7 hours, and it's been around hundreds of millions of years. And so the evidence is there to show that by holding our breath for longer and having more quality, more deep breaths, we can live longer. Maybe not millions of years, but I think there's something to be said in those statistics. And when you practice pranayama, it's important to do it with an empty stomach, because digestion can interfere with the benefits. And with a lot of the practices, you'll practice with the eyes closed and stomach empty. So there are different types of pranayama. There are cooling types of pranayama to cool the body and central nervous system, and there are more heating or warming pranayama practices. And I'm going to introduce a mixture of cooling and warming pranayamas to you in a moment. And so when we think of yogic practices and yoga, there's 3 main pillars that come to my mind, which are yoga and asanas, which connect the body. And then you have meditation, which connects the mind. And then you have pranayama, which connects the mind and the body. And so it's a beautiful balance and a beautiful complete package of self-love and self-care. But pranayama by itself has a plethora of benefits, and I'd like to go into a few of those with you now. But most importantly, what it does is it supplies your body with increased levels of oxygen, so to purify and to remove those toxins. And before you start pranayama practices, it can be good just to take a moment to do some regular yogic breathing or just deep natural breaths to prepare yourself for the pranayama practices. The pranayama practices are based on four concepts: inhalation, exhalation, and then others involve internal breath retention and also external breath retention. So inhale and hold, or exhale and hold before you inhale again. And these practices influence the flow of prana in the nadis being our energy channels in our body. And they are both purifying and regulating and activating the nadis and inducing more physical and mental stability. So let's take a look at some of the types of pranayama. So the first practice I'd like to discuss with you is Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath, also known as psychic breath, is a gentle constriction and vibration of the throat. Now, this particular pranayama practice is a heating and warming practice. And so be careful of the environment that you're in. If you're already feeling very warm and hot, maybe you would like to try a more cooling pranayama. But Ujjayi breath has very good benefits. It soothes the nervous system. It also calms the mind. And it helps us to connect to our subconscious mind. That's why it's also called psychic breath. It can relieve insomnia, and it can also help you stay in any asanas longer. So if you, by calming the mind and the nervous system, you will find that you're able to stay in yoga poses for longer by activating Ujjayi breath. Ujjayi breath will sound almost like a baby snoring. The constriction and the vibration of the throat should not be too exaggerated, should be very subtle. And when you inhale, you should hear a slight snoring sound in your throat. And when you exhale, it almost sounds like you're fogging up the mirror or the glass, like. So when you inhale, exhale. So the mouth is closed, but the shape of the throat that you're making, like, is what you're aiming for. So I'm just going to show you quickly a round of Ujjayi breath. I'm going to do 3 rounds. Okay, so I'm going to inhale. I hope you could hear that. So just a gentle constriction, vibration of the throat, and when you exhale, just like imagine you're fogging up the glass, but keep the mouth closed. The second pranayama practice you can try is alternate nostril breathing. Now, alternate nostril breathing is a more cooling pranayama practice, and it involves exactly what it sounds like, breathing through alternate nostrils. And so the benefits of alternate nostril breathing are it has a really, really good calming effect on the cardiovascular and nervous system, and a stabilizing rhythmic effect on the brain and also the heart. So this practice helps to reduce stress-related conditions, and it again shouldn't be forced. It should be a soft, deep inhalation, but not to the point where you're feeling that you're out of breath or that you're feeling any discomfort. If you feel that you are feeling discomfort, then you can always reduce the breath count to a lower number. And so alternate nostril breathing, it can, if you're right or left-handed, it will obviously change, but I'm right-handed, and we use the thumb to cover the right nostril and the ring finger to cover the left nostril. Okay, these middle fingers go on our third eye here, close to our third eye, on our brow actually. And what we'll do is we'll always start on the left side, and then we will inhale for 3 counts through the left nostril, and then exhale through the right nostril. And when we are not using the other nostril, we will use our finger or thumb to cover the alternate nostril. So I'll give you a demonstration now, and I will count using my hand, but if you have this hand redundant, as you will, you can adopt a chin mudra or any type of mudra, or leave the hand flat on top of the knee. Okay, so using the thumb and index finger, I'm going to cover this nostril and I'm going to open up the left nostril and I'm going to inhale for 3. On 1, on 2, on 3. Cover the left nostril, open up the right nostril and exhale. Immediately on 1, on 2, on 3. And then I'm going to inhale through the right nostril on 1, on 2, on 3. Close that nostril, open up the left nostril and release on 1, on 2, on 3. And then that actually completes one round of alternate nostril breathing. And so I'll do it again for you. We'll do 3 rounds. So the breaths are equal on each side, inhale 3, exhale 3. But you can start to increase that breath count if you like to, inhalation count, and inhale up to 5, 10, up to 12. And again, it's equal on the other side. And as you become more advanced in these pranayama practices, the alternate nostril practice, you can start to do uneven inhalations and exhalations. For example, inhale for 5, exhale for 10. Inhale for 5, exhale for 10. But when you begin these pranayama practices, always start with the basic beginner introductory round of pranayama practices and always advance to the next levels. The third practice I'd like to talk to you about is humming bee breath. Now, humming bee breath is also known as Brahmi. Brahmi is very, very good for feelings of depression, reducing feelings of anger even, and relieving cerebral tension. So it's said to also help heal body tissues. If you have any wounds or if you had an operation, then raising your vibration through this conscious practice is said to be very, very beneficial. Now, humming bee breath, a lovely name, it's called humming bee breath because you're going to make a slight vibration and the sound of a bee, or hummingbird if you like, but humming bee breath. And so I'm going to explain it to you first because if it involves putting your fingers in your ears, and if we practice it first you might not be able to hear me. So humming bee breath is closing off the ears, closing off that sense, and closing the mouth also, but making sure that the teeth and the jaw are relaxed and not tight together, because the vibration and the humming that we're going to make will make the teeth chatter, and that would cause discomfort, and we're trying to obviously not cause discomfort in these practices. And so again, a smooth, even breath for the inhalations and the exhalations, making sure it's continuous, and you should feel the front of the skull slightly reverberate, okay? So I'm going to put my fingers in my ears with my index fingers. I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to inhale for 5 counts. And then as I exhale, I'm going to make a slight humming sound like a bee. And again, exhale through the nose. But you'll feel that vibration. You should feel it in the cerebral part, in the front skull area. Okay? So fingers in my ears, eyes closed, mouth closed, teeth apart. Inhale. Okay, so I did 3 rounds there, but you can choose to do 5 or increase that up to 10. See what feels comfortable for you, and I hope that you feel the benefits of humming bee breath also. And they are the 3 types of pranayama that I wanted to discuss with you. And so you have Ujjayi breath, a warming heat pranayama. You had alternate breathing, alternate nostril breathing, a cooling practice, and we also discussed humming bee breath, the last one that we just that I just showed you. And yes, so there's our 3 pranayamas, and there's many more which you can dive into and enjoy the benefits of. And yeah, I hope that you continue your own studies and your own practice with pranayama, because they're a beautiful way to start your day, or to start or to finish a meditation, or even a yoga flow. Or if you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling anxious, you can take a moment to remove yourself from a situation and do one of these practices to help reduce your anxiety. Okay, hope you have a beautiful day, afternoon, morning, evening, and I'll see you again very soon. My name is Rachel. This has been for Wake Up Thankful, and take care. Bye.